Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about this release from the Criterion collection called the Koker Trilogy from Abbas Kiarostami. As many of you may know from seeing some of my earlier videos, you know that the Criterion collection sale is happening right now at Barnes & Noble for 50% off. This is a great deal to get during the sale because it's, I think, $100, and obviously 50% off is $49.99. And then if you have a Barnes & Noble card, you can save even more. And what an amazing set this is. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk about here briefly is that I'm a huge Abbas Kiarostami fan. So Abbas Kiarostami is one of my favorite filmmakers, and pretty much from the moment I put on one of his films, I'm drawn in and just can't stop watching. So I liken him to Ingmar Bergman. Ingmar Bergman does the same thing for me. Once I put on one of his films, I'm completely drawn into the film for some reason. And so those are two directors that will do that to me. Let me know in the comments below if you have a director that you feel like as soon as you put on the film, you're completely drawn into it. And I think the reason with Kiarostami is because even though he calls himself in one of the supplements a failed painter, many of the shots are just like paintings. And so I think his films, for me anyway, have a very meditative, contemplative effect. And so I really enjoy watching it for that reason. The shots, each of the shots looks like a painting. It's just absolutely beautiful. So we're gonna roll some other footage while I read out the supplements for this particular box set. I feel like the box set is really well designed too, because it's almost like when you open up the box set, it's almost like, and you'll see this in the video, almost like peeling an onion, which is exactly what Kiarostami does with many of his work. So it's great to see that the Criterion collection picked a design and picked a packaging that exemplified that aspect of Kiarostami's work. So there's lots of extra features on this box set. There's new, well, first of all, there's 3 films on the box set: Where is the Friend's House, and Life Goes On, and Through the Olive Trees, all based around Koker, the city of Koker, the northern Iranian town of Koker. So there's new 2K digital restorations of all 3 films. There's a new audio commentary on And Life Goes On. There's Homework, which is a great feature from 1989, which is a feature-length documentary by Abbas Kiarostami, newly restored. There's Abbas Kiarostami, Truth and Dreams, a 1994 documentary. There's a new interview with Kiarostami's son. There's new conversation between scholar Jamshid Akrami and critic Godfrey Cheshire. There's a conversation from 2015 between Abbas Kiarostami and programmer Peter Scarlett. New interview with scholar Hamid Nafisi. I'm probably not pronouncing those correctly. There's new English subtitle translations and an essay by Cheshire as well. So this particular set really is jam-packed with extra features. It's quite a bargain. I'm going to split this video into 2 parts because I want to talk about the first film in this trilogy, and that is Where is the Friend's House? And here's the front and the back. You saw how it's placed in the box set, but this is just amazing to watch. Again, as I mentioned before, every frame almost is like a painting, and you can see this is a classic scene where the, well, first of all, I should say the story is about, it's a very simple story about a child who mistakenly takes a notebook from a friend in school and has to try to return it to him. So you'll find with much of Kiarostami's work, there is a search motif. There's always some searching happening. There's a journey going on. Kiarostami, also known as the driving director, many of his films are, there's quite a few scenes that take place in a car. And so that's one of the reasons. His films also have a very, they feel like documentaries almost, but they're not. The other thing about this particular film is that it features a moral dilemma, which again is another aspect of Kiarostami's work. This, as I mentioned in the intro, or as I mentioned when we were showing the box set, has also a feature-length documentary called Homework from 1989. And that's where Kiarostami basically interviews children about whether they do their homework or not, why they don't do their homework, what their family life is like. It's very interesting, and it's a great supplement. There's also a conversation in 2015 between Kiarostami and programmer Peter Scarlett. Again, very insightful into his work. So the second video I'm going to make is going to be on the other 2 films in this trilogy, and I'll talk about the supplements as well. It's taking me some time to work through this trilogy box set, but it's just an amazing journey, much like I'm reminded of my journey through the Bergman box set, which was obviously much longer with so many more films. But I'm just really fascinated by Kiarostame's work. I love the way he makes films, and so if you like films that are meditative, contemplative, quiet type films with this type of atmosphere, I highly recommend this box set. It's at a great price right now. Many people are debating whether to get the Koker Trilogy during the sale or at all, and I highly recommend it. Again, I think Abbas Kiarostami is a genius, and so it's just wonderful to see his work presented in this way. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and click on the notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload a new video. And I'll see you next time.